All right, here we are. Pop the cork. First podcast.
Pop the cork. I like that terminology.
All right. Cynthia St. Amour, everybody. And I should say thanks for the invite instead of, because we're at your house, not mine. So this is the first podcast for ordinary people. And we came up with this idea at work a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Always listening to podcasts, watching podcasts. Had the idea. Cindy said, I want to start one. And I'm like, you know what? I've always wanted to do one too, so what are we waiting for?
Yep.
Why are we dragging our feet?
Exactly. So yours, I love the concept of it. Mine is actually, which we'll link this to mine, YouTube. And mine is actually going to be called BS, No, and then X, C-U-S-E.
So
BS, No Excuse.
There you go.
Let's start with you. What's yours all about?
Well, it's titled Ordinary People because that's the people that are going to be on the podcast. Just ordinary people. I'm an ordinary person. I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a movie star. I'm not a musician.
You're not a movie star?
No, I got one there. So you're the fan. You're the fan. Okay. That makes sense now.
Exactly.
I knew that.
I'm not a stalker. I'm a fan. There's a difference.
One follower. I didn't know it was you until now. But yeah, we're just going to... And the subtitle for mine, the title is Ordinary People. The subtitle is going to be because normal people have amazing stories too. As we're about to find out.
What?
And when we get a lot of these going, I think the guest list will be pretty extensive. I don't know how popular this is going to be. Never done one of these before. I don't have any business doing one to begin with.
Yes, you do. Everybody has a right to do these. And basically, I think, okay, I'll go with this. What I absolutely love about the idea, the dynamics about your podcast is the fact that if you think about it, everybody who does a YouTube or on Facebook or any of these social media things, they go out and they end up being like major stars. You see them on TV and stuff like that. But how did they start?
Right.
Just like we are, ordinary people. And the whole fact of ordinary people have amazing stories. You don't have to be, no offense, Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, anybody, Julia Roberts, anybody like that.
Yeah, mediocre actors.
Yeah.
And the whole, I don't want to say the premise behind this, but the setup. I was a huge fan of the Opie and Anthony show.
Yes.
Which was Sirius XM satellite radio. And, of course, that's not a show anymore. And they would just have guests on and just hang out. And it was never a formal interview. I mean, it was lightly scripted, but they always said, no, we're just on a whim here. And then my favorite podcast right now is the Joe Rogan Experience.
Of which,
thank
you. You
yeah,
got me in on that one too.
He has mentioned that several times. Like he had Anthony Cumia on a couple years ago as a guest, and he said, your radio show, the Opie and Anthony show, is what gave me the inspiration for my podcast. It's just a hang. It's just a hangout, and you're just sitting here talking. Mm-hmm. And I really love the idea also because I think there's a big audience that that's what they want to listen to. They don't want to listen to just a bunch of interview questions and, it's not 60 minutes.
Scripted.
It's not anything like that. It's just an open, honest hangout, and we just talk about
life.
Just life. Real life.
Yes, not things that are on TV or that the news omits certain things or anything like that. And it's actually, like you said, it's unscripted, and it's actual real, I hate to use that terminology, real life people, because, actors and all, they're real as well, but like you and I, as you say, normal people, we don't know them. We don't know their
Right.
backstory. We don't know how they really are in real life. Like, do you fart? Do you burp?
Of course.
Yes. It's called the human factor behind it.
Yeah, and the thing that's hilarious to me about reality TV is it's not real. It's not
Isn't that an oxymoron?
Yeah, well, pretty much. But that's absolutely the truth. There's nothing real about it. They have writers.
Yeah.
They have to film, edit.
And that's the key word, edit.
I'm not editing. I'm not doing anything with this. We hit record.
Whatever
This is
happens,
just going to be
happens.
uploaded. Might have to do it in different parts. I think it gives me a 33-minute window and then it starts another video. So we'll have to play around with that. And by the way, this setup is a Ceramonic sound mixer with 2 mics, and the video is 4K on a Samsung Note 5. So that's our setup here, a little tripod. Researched this online. Very good reviews, been very happy with it so far. And yeah, here we are. Practiced the last week. Now we have the official.
And he has practice. I can vouch for it. And I thought that this was. Cause I absolutely love working with you.
Mm-hmm.
You are. Because we both. I don't know. Can we even plug where we work?
I'm not going to initially.
Okay, yeah, because I don't want to. Yeah.
But yeah.
Legalities. But
Right.
but I mean, talking about real life and real stories, everybody has a job, and JOB stands for what? Just over broke. Yeah. But for me, and I'm kind of segueing here. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
but
fine. Next
for
topic.
me, it's the environment and the people that you work with that makes me want to go back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty good job. We have an excellent supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
The work, it's quite a big workload, but really, when you look at it, it's really not that difficult of a job either.
It's not. The only thing is a lot of things change. And you have to keep up the change. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that. You got quiet, Paul.
That's the basics. It's
Pretty
not.
much.
It's not a bad job, and I mentioned this to somebody else, and I said, how could you complain about that job?
I agree.
Because I've had some jobs. They're like, hey,
Okay,
we'll try that for a while.
What was your worst job? And why?
That's a tough one, and I thought about that yesterday and couldn't figure it out either.
That's not a good sign.
Being a residential manager
Yeah.
in a Medicaid-funded setting for people with disabilities was, for me, it was just a little too much stress, a little too much busy work, a little too much responsibility, and I segued from that to where I'm at now. And
Gotcha.
That's been 2.5 years ago.
Now, do you have a degree?
I have a bachelor's in
I thought so.
recreation administration.
That is so far from what we do. But I'm the same way.
And a personal fitness trainer certification.
Yeah, which, okay, you still need to get in the gym. Again, we said this isn't going to be scripted. It's not. So this is just about talking and communicating and seeing ordinary people. Right?
Pretty much.
So, yeah, I need to get your butt in the gym. So, yeah. Because I've made it like a goal. I want to hurt you. No, I'm kidding. I want to hurt you. You know that.
My first invitation will be leg day.
Yes.
Well, if you're going to climb Mount Everest, why go up the easy side?
That is a very good analogy. Look at that. You can get good analogies from this, too.
Yeah. We're open for new ideas.
Oh, that's another thing. If people have ideas, that that they would want you to talk about, do that. You know,
Yeah,
put it on the bottom.
I had thought about not ever reading the YouTube comments.
Why? No, you need to.
I don't know.
You should always read them because it's those subscribers are the ones that are going to get you to other people, and that's your goal.
True.
That's your goal. You know, okay. Are you gonna cuss?
No, it's up to you. It's your house.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with it. But how do I put it? Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them, and most of them stink.
Yeah.
So you gotta take the good with the bad.
True.
That's all there is to it. And then the bad stuff, let it roll off.
Yeah.
Because in the end, you're gonna listen to those people who are giving you positive criticism.
Right.
You take it and you run with it.
True.
So.
All right, let's segue over to your podcast.
Oh yeah.
The idea behind it and the subject matter content that it's going to have.
Okay.
Because yours is a completely different idea from mine. Mine is just you sit here and just nonsense for a while.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, so do I.
I
But
love
yours is
that.
going to be a little different setup.
Yes,
I think.
mine. It's my podcast is like the title is BS No Excuse.
Right.
And BS No Excuse is literally just that. It's BS. In life, you can make up any excuse you want for any situation in your life. But that's all it is an excuse.
Right.
And my podcast is basically going to be about individuals who have gone through tumultuous things, little minuscule things. You know, what is huge and a burden to me, to you is just like, really? You're worried about that?
Yeah.
But it's how people deal with it, how people got through it. And mine is just basically to help other people out there. But I also have another, actually I have two YouTube. One is Cindy Loves Cool Things.
Yes.
And I have that one as well.
Which is neat.
Thank you.
It is pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, on Cindy Loves Cool Things, that one, yes, I will kind of tie those in together, but that one is more fun-loving, you know, just shoot the crap, do neat things like
You go to
car shows.
Yeah, so you go to a lot of car shows.
Yes, I love car shows. And that's where I was telling you about looking in the feeds, because there's people who, it was my first time recording, and I didn't realize that how you have yours set up long ways.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing it when my phone was like this.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. And people were telling me, we can't really see what you're doing. You know, they're like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, don't hate me. I'm just trying. I'm learning. But yeah, that one is more geared towards, and I ask people, I say, hey, post at the bottom, give me ideas if there's events that are going on in Omaha, car shows, fundraisers, carnivals, anything like that, people that want me to look at.
Sure.
I'll go. I'll videotape it. I'll interview different people. I also like to plug in local businesses to help to give back to the community.
Okay.
And then with the one that we talked about at work, the BS No Excuse, that one is geared more because something that I want. Tony, I don't know if you ever heard of Tony Robbins.
I don't know.
Tony Robbins, he hates the terminology of being a motivational speaker.
Okay.
Or he did coin the phrase life coach.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, I don't want to do that no more. But he is a huge inspiration from Zig Ziglar. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, I've seen him speak. In Kemper Arena in Kansas City.
When?
Oh man, 2003.
Okay. You
Yeah.
just got up on one notch for me. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
That is more what BS No Excuses is more geared towards. Is inspiring people, helping people deal with situations in their lives that you just don't know how to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it will be spiritual, religious, and beyond.
Sure.
And I'm open to conversation. That's the one thing about me is I'm more than willing to converse with me. Let's banter back and forth. But for me, it's like, don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'm going to say to you, nope, I don't want to listen to you.
Yeah.
That to me does no good for both. But anyway, yeah, thank you for segueing that.
Yeah, not a problem.
But I don't know. What are you wanting to get out of this personally, to begin with?
Just have a good time, basically. Just have a good time. Just talk to people. Just have a good conversation. See what they're all about. What kind of cool stories do they have?
Okay, how about you?
What kind of awesome job experiences?
What awesome job experiences have you had?
Work experiences, anything like that.
I know.
Can't think right offhand.
I hate that. It's kind of like when you're typing at work and somebody's standing over your shoulder, and you're like, oh man, backspace. Oh crap, will you just walk away?
Yeah, definitely feel that. Well, maybe you should start.
What do you want to know about me?
Well, you were a professional football player for a while.
Yes, I'll plug that one. Yeah, at 4'11", back in 2010, I played for the Nebraska Stampede. It's an all-women's professional football tackle team. You also have other teams out there that play football arena or the lingerie bowl, like Hart. I have a friend of mine who is an amazing massage therapist. I'm segueing here, but I'm going to go back to that.
Okay.
But she played for the Hart, and her name was Danny. She is a phenomenal young woman, and she's actually somebody who I'm going to have on mine.
Okay.
BS, no excuses, no excuse. But she played for him. But for me, it was a time in my life where I was trying to find something that made me unique.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that kind of segues to BS, no excuses of helping people find their way. But for me, oh my gosh, it was like an adrenaline rush. I mean, here I am, 4'11", and I was actually one of the oldest members on the team.
And you played running back, didn't you?
Well, here's the thing. The first part of the season, I did. I played halfback.
Okay.
And then I realized I don't like getting hit. I like hitting.
It happens.
Yes. And I was on, I actually showed your daughter, I was on Channel 7 News came out to my work where I used to work and interviewed me, did a segment on me. I was on the Morning Blend, and the Lincoln Star interviewed me. And they told me the reason why they selected me is because a multitude of things. One, I have 4'11". I had 3 children, and I was one of the oldest women on the team. And honestly, I think I was the only Asian on the team.
Okay.
But the unique thing about it, get this, we had 2 girls on there who were deaf.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we had an interpreter out there. So when we were learning plays, she would be out there on the field signing what the plays were. That was pretty freaking cool. But yeah, I ended up getting a dislocated shoulder.
Wow.
A mild concussion and a cleat to the face. I don't know if you can see right here. I have scars right here. And basically what happened there was the girl was running into the end zone. I wrapped her, and she kept going, and I just slid down. and her foot came up, and her cleat smacked me in the face. Well, you know how you have the butt pads to block the coccyx? Well, it went up under my helmet, and it pulled my helmet up. And as her foot came up, that's how it smacked me in the face.
Ew.
But yeah, I did that. I'm a firm believer in getting out there and exploring life. It is too dang short.
Yeah.
And I did motocross in Alaska. That's where I got my motorcycle license.
That's cool.
I had a Kawasaki Vulcan 500. And love martial arts. I've done taijutsu, kyokushin karate, Krav Maga, and taekwondo.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, ordinary. I am nothing special. I'm special. Apparently. No, I'm kidding. I never take myself seriously. But I've modeled.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah. Gosh, what else? Oh, 23 years ago, I was in a coma on life support.
Really?
Yep.
What happened?
It was a UTI that went sepsis.
Ooh.
And yep. Okay, you want to talk about ordinary people with extraordinary stories?
Mm-hmm.
At birth, I weighed 2 pounds 9 ounces.
Okay.
I was, my biological mother was 7 months pregnant.
Okay.
And I ended up coming early. And then, gosh, what else? Oh, I have a genetic disorder called left isomerism.
Okay.
And left isomerism, for me, there's left isomerism, right isomerism, and it also comes from isometric isomorph syndrome or heterosectic syndrome. Look it up.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But I had a hysterectomy, and I had 2 uteruses. I have 5 spleens. My liver is enlarged and bilateral. My IVC is interrupted, meaning it stops. And there's a system that's called the Agassiz system, which is just a cluster of vessels that go up and then into my heart. I found out that I had GERD when I collapsed at work.
Yeah, that happened on my birthday in June of this year.
It was your birthday? I didn't know that.
June 7th, yeah.
I didn't know this.
Because I saw you and Kinsey walking around the corner, and I wanted to show you what they did to my cube, which was awesome.
I know, that was so cool.
And then you didn't come back. You went in the ambulance.
What'd they say?
Who?
Did they say anything to you guys? Because I haven't.
Oh yeah, I believe in our team meeting, they said what had happened. I can't remember for sure. It's been several months ago.
Several months ago.
Yeah, we were all pretty worried about you, and then you were out for a week.
Yeah.
And then you came back on the day we had training downstairs.
I know.
And you looked so frail, sad. I was like, man. But
yeah.
I had my own, medical discovery.
What?
Like, I guess it was probably just a month before that, in May. I have plaque psoriasis, So So I'm on Humira, which is what they call a high-risk prescription.
Yeah.
So you gotta have your primary care physician draw your blood for your full metabolic panel, and he starts listing all these things off. Your white blood cell count's great, red blood cell count's red blood cell count is great. Cholesterol's within normal range, but we want to get it a little lower. Just went on and on. Everything's cool. And then he goes, your A1C is, it was like 8.2, which means you have type 2 diabetes. And I'm like, well, how is that? Because, I eat good.
You eat very healthy.
Exercise. And I drink lots of water. Mm-hmm. And so we just kind of went over it. He's like, well, it's hard telling, Sometimes it's just inherited. My grandpa had it.
Oh. Now, did you know this, or did you find this out?
About Grandpa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he had it. I think he was in his 60s or 70s before they found out. but he controlled his with diet.
Oh, that's good.
Also, and then so then they say, here's your blood sugar monitor, put you on a little statin for your cholesterol, get that lowered, little blood pressure medicine to protect my kidneys, and metformin, which is to help blood sugar when I eat. And so after, it didn't take long, I figured out it's just the refined carbs. Bread, pasta, pizza crust, crackers, cookies. So as soon as I cut out all those carbs, I went back 3 months later, drew my blood again, and they said not only are you below pre-diabetic range, or not only below diabetic range, you're below pre-diabetic range. It was, my A1C was 5.1 or something. So as long as I keep it there, now technically I don't have the diabetes anymore. So I just check my sugar every day, and it's been a long time since my range is between 70 and 180. And I haven't gone over 180 in a long time. In fact, there's some days where I'm in the 60s.
Yeah,
so
but
then So then I have to eat something.
And then then I give you sugar. Give you candy.
Yeah, or go visit the candy bowl.
Exactly.
So anyways, that was a interesting discovery.
Yeah, you scared me on that one.
Jeez, I was scared. I thought I was going to die or something. I was like, what does this mean?
Do you remember that day at work and you were like, oh, okay, I'm not feeling good. And then you checked your sugar?
Yeah, it was like 65.
Yeah. Beat you.
I think it's because all I did was eat avocados and I don't remember what else. What did I tell you? All you had, no sugar. It was like protein and fats. And there was like no sugar. Because I asked her, I was like, what did you eat? Well, I've had this. And I'm like, what's your sugar? Packages of tuna fish, avocados, and cheese sticks.
That protein, that was it. Protein, and fats.
Which is nice because listening to Joe Rogan's podcast whenever he has those guys on, I can't remember all their names, but there was some of them that he learned about ketogenic diet.
Oh yeah,
and high fats, high protein, low carbs.
That's how I had to lose mine because going back to me going to the hospital thing and finding out I had GERD. My doctor told me that because I have so many multiple organs, I don't have room. So I had no room for any visceral fat. I weighed 144 pounds, and now I'm down to 117. I want to get 115.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm so proud of you for is that we're actually maintaining our goals. This is what we wanted to do, and it's freaking hard, man.
Yeah, when I went in for that first blood draw, I weighed 225 pounds.
Yep.
And when was I? I think I took one of the girls in for an appointment, and
but you're below.
I stepped on the scale and weighed 199.
Yep. I remember you told me that.
I've lost 25 pounds since May. So yeah, and
we're both on it, bud. And just so everybody knows the kind of the dynamics between us is Paul is not my savior at work. No, you are a very good friend.
Yeah, so are you. I appreciate
very
that.
Close friend. Like brother from another mother.
Well, I remember when you first got hired with the company, kind of like similar to what I was. You get hired and then you just kind of learn all your applications, read the books, and then you really can't do any work until you go through training. Yep. And they only have those trainings once a month. And so you observe and you job shadow and all this. And I remember...
almost 2 months.
Yeah, I had to wait a whole 5 weeks. But I remember you just immediately were friendly and talking to people, and you were offered to fold the mail,
the documents,
put everything in envelopes, and help out. And I was like, hey man, she's pretty cool. And then
you got to know me.
Well, and then when you found out that I had a personal trainer certification, I think that
Yes.
really intrigued you, and you
Yes.
came and started talking to me about that. And yeah, since then, yeah, those are the main podcasts that I throw your way when Rogan has
Yeah.
Chris and Mark Bell on.
Oh,
when he had-
that one was freaking awesome.
Yeah, he's
oh,
and
CT.
CT Fletcher. Oh my
They made
gosh,
me take that
man.
out.
I told you they were going to.
No, not him. Not the pictures. The ISY. Your
It's still your motherfucking set.
yes. They made me take that off. I had to.
Oh, I wrote that up there anyways.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you put yours?
I erased mine also.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want upper management asking what that stood for.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like.
Yeah, man, that's funny.
But yeah, oh my gosh. That is one thing I do. I mean, when you send them to me, I do listen to them, but I'm like this. I am so swamped. I'm so busy. And if I'm not at work, either where we work or bartending, I'm at the gym.
Right.
Or I'm sleeping.
Well, very necessary also.
But those things that you send me, some of them are just, I mean, the people that Joe Rogan has on his podcast, that's what I want for you.
Yeah, basically, yeah, because every person he's had on there, I watched almost every one of his podcasts, and the people his guests are really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, when he has Jocko Willink on, the Navy SEAL commander.
Oh, yes, he was amazing.
He went on Rogan's podcast one time, and then Rogan talked him into starting his own podcast. And now he's got
Oh, wait,
a lot
I
of
didn't tell me
episodes.
that.
Yeah, and he's been on another time since then. Steve Maxwell, he's a guy that.
I don't think you've sent me one of them.
Yeah, he was on there quite a while back. He's an interesting guy because he like doesn't own a house anymore or something. He lives in his van and he travels all over the world training people.
Training people for what? Who is he? What does he do?
Just like exercise.
Oh.
And he's, I think, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I believe.
If you could take an art, what would you take?
That one.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's the one, he's explained it so many times, it's the one where size doesn't matter. The small person can beat the big person.
Mm-hmm.
And that was proven in one of the very first Ultimate Fighting Championships when Hoist Gracie beat Dan Severn at 175 pounds, and Dan was like a 280-pound wrestler.
Hoist Gracie, man, they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now, I'm having a brain fart, but it was Hoist Gracie and the two rivals.
Hoist's rival? I have to ask my brother, he'd know.
If anyone knows, put it at the bottom of mine or his and tell us. Give us an idea.
I'm drawing a blank there, sorry.
That's all right.
But,
I'm sorry.
but yeah, and another one of Joe's best podcasts that I love is when he had Hicks and Gracie on. He's known throughout the jiu-jitsu world as the greatest ever. Never lost a fight, you know.
I didn't know that.
Oh, he's amazing. He's amazing. Yeah, and he does some really extreme training exercises, and then he can do crazy things like go sit in the river when it's wintertime. And, you know, it's unbelievable what he can pull off. But yeah, I love those guests.
That's that mind over matter. Yeah. See, but that's what I'm saying. It's well-rounded cast, if you will, for lack of a better terminology. But it's so, the dynamics of every individual is so different.
Yeah, because he can have,
like.
he can have Chris and Mark Bell on, and they're halfway talking about powerlifting and steroids, and then the other half of it is they're talking about his new documentary that he's filming, because he went to USC Film School.
Yep.
And if you don't know, check out Chris Bell's documentaries. prescription thugs, trophy kids. He's made quite a few. I can't remember all of them. Bigger, stronger, faster.
Which one made the sling? The
Mark.
Why can't I not remember that?
He's the power lifter. He made the slingshot.
Yeah.
Which is a bench pressing assisted device.
Mm-hmm. It basically goes up on your arms, and then when you're going down, boom. Now, there's been a debate. Which muscle do you utilize more
For a bench
when
press?
doing the bench press? Your triceps or your biceps?
You mean your pecs?
Well, your biceps too, but your pecs.
I would say the pecs. But I've also read, I remember reading this a long time ago, the closer in your grip is, the more the triceps are worked, and the
Yes.
further out, the more your pecs are worked. But it's also your shoulders, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of muscles involved
I know.
with that. It'd be a good question for when I get Dan Gross on.
Absolutely. But you know what? I think a good thing that you could do also, because get a variety of different, because you have, that's the big, okay, I shouldn't do it that way. But you have your bodybuilders,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have your powerlifters.
Right.
Two total different communities.
And it's
Different.
two pretty different training concepts also.
Very.
You got your hypertrophy training for large volume for bodybuilders, and then your heavyweight low reps for your powerlifters. And both equally stronger than hell.
Yeah.
Some, it just depends on the person,
Yeah.
what they're into.
Was it? I keep getting the brothers mixed up. Was it Mark or was it Chris? I think it was. Okay, which one?
Chris is the documentarian.
Okay, then it was Mark. Mark. No, maybe it was Chris. The one who, the girl in the pretty sundress.
Oh, that was Mark. He was
That's Mark.
squatting like 1,000 pounds or something. And
I
he said
know.
The pretty girl walked in front of me, and I got distracted, and he dropped the
And he
weight
dropped it.
and screwed his knees and ankles up. And
He doesn't like to go to the
he won't
doctor.
go to the doctor. So he said it took him
Go
several
to the
months
doctor.
before he was healed. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
See, I messed up my shoulder.
Yeah.
When I dislocated it, and I didn't go to the doctor.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, but my my trainer, Nick. Well, he's not my trainer now, but I've trained with him a couple of times. Amazing guy, very nice guy. But he here in Omaha, he had. Do you mind if I say his gym?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. But it's Iron Haven, is phenomenal place for bodybuilders.
Cool.
And I mean, it has all of these unique, new, different machines that focus on specific muscles. And but anyway, what I was saying with him is, I could not do a pull-up to save my life at all, because every time I'd come up, I would just pop, and it would shoot pain just all the way down my back of my arm. So,
It says 3 minutes.
alright. That's how much we
Okay,
got.
after some minor technical difficulties, like I said, we're just kind of figuring this out as we go along. We've got a couple minutes left here. I'm going to try to see, since we have a couple videos now, try to see how we upload this, hopefully all in one, to YouTube. Do that tomorrow. So anyways, I think we left off with the pull-ups,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, he was going and swinging his body, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. And then he decided to come over and proceed to tell me how to lift. I'm like,
Wow.
I was nice.
That's always awesome.
Yeah, I was nice. I was like, I got this, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't mean, but I'm like, dude, no. it's gym etiquette, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So, back to the podcast. What do you want everyone to know?
I just want to know that if you are interested in this kind of stuff, I'm glad to have you. And if this is boring as hell to you, I understand that also, and don't watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What does CT say?
Well, he says a lot of stuff.
Okay. You don't like cussing? See that big old door over there?
Yeah, so I guess you take advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All
no,
right.
I wish you the best of luck with this.
Thanks.
And
Same to you. And
Thank
when you
you.
get your stuff set up and you're ready to record, let me know.
Oh yeah. Is it okay if I put this one on mine?
I don't care. Sure.
All right. I'll do that.
This is going to be linked on my Facebook and Twitter also, so it'll also be linked on your YouTube channel.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Sounds good.
See you tomorrow at work.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.